Hi, I'm Steve Royle from MyMedicalAffairs.com, and welcome to a series that we call Meet the Organiser, which is where we get an opportunity to interview the organiser of some of the world's more interesting and unique conferences and events as relevant to the medical affairs profession. Joining me today, very lucky to have wonderful Rina Newton from Code Clarity, who is the organiser of an event called the annual Code Clarity Conference. Rina, welcome. Lovely to have you join us.
Thank you so much, Steve. Thank you for having me.
No, it's absolutely my pleasure. I'm particularly excited about this one because I'm going to get to attend it myself later in the year. So I, like hopefully a lot of our listeners, am very interested to learn a little bit more about it. So before jumping into the conference though, I'd love to hear a little bit more about yourself and your journey in the industry and what went into launching Code Clarity itself.
Okay, lovely. Thank you. So I'm a qualified pharmacist by background, and I kind of did the usual route before sort of stumbling into pharma, which is quite typical. And in pharma, I did lots of different roles that centered around compliance. So through medical, I kind of worked my way through, and my last corporate position was head of compliance at AstraZeneca. The first company I set up was called Complimed, and as the name suggests, we focused on compliance and medical. So we were kind of doing MLR, copy approval support, as well as the trickier stuff in healthcare compliance. My second company, Code Clarity, is much more of a boutique business. Together with my co-founder, we have used our years of insight and experience, not just to do what's out there, but to do what we think and we know will make a difference. And that is building compliance confidence for the many and not just a few. We feel like it's wholly unfair that there are these guardians of codes and laws within pharma companies, and only they know the rules. And they wield this disproportionate power in allowing activities or allowing innovation to happen. And we feel this is unfair, and we just want to make sure that we provide kind of digital bite-sized ways to increase everyone's knowledge and confidence when it comes to the code, because actually the code isn't that difficult. A lot of it is common sense.
Yeah, that's really interesting. And I like the way you say confidence in the compliance, because from my experience, confidence is quite a rare trait when people are talking about that sort of that element of the industry. So really wonderful that you're trying to make a difference in that aspect. So I guess that brings us to the event itself, the Code Clarity Conference, and really interested to know how it started, how long it's been running for, and really get to know the overarching theme and focus for this upcoming event.
Sure. So we are veterans, I would say, when it comes to organizing conferences. When we were at Complimed, we ran one every year. And we found that we had discovered this target audience that weren't really getting to go to conferences that were relevant for them. They weren't attending or listening to topics or speakers that were calling to them and meeting their needs. And there are a variety of great big conferences out there, both medical, commercial, patients, all that kind of stuff. But when it comes to the pure healthcare compliance, they were falling between the cracks. And so Complimed, we did really well with running these annual conferences. So it was a no-brainer. For Code Clarity, we had to meet our customers' needs, and our customers being predominantly those that have a role in healthcare compliance. Now, depending on the size of the company, Steve, you'd appreciate that is healthcare compliance teams, legal teams, medical affairs people. Like, there are companies where a medical director has to do everything.
Yeah.
And so we're calling to these people. The theme this year is about having a compliance confidence for a competitive edge, because we recognize it is not enough to bring these great people with us along this journey. They need to be part of a cross-functional team. So we're encouraging people to bring their colleagues with them, because actually if their colleagues and them are there to hear it firsthand and to work together, that's why we've also designed the conference to be workshop. So it is very solution oriented.
I really love the way you framed that, the competitive edge to compliance. So often in the industry, compliance has been looked at the shaving off the edge of competitiveness, but it doesn't have to be that way, does it? So it's hopefully that will resonate with a lot of people. So you spoke about the conference, but who's the type of industry professional that this conference would be precisely suited for?
So predominantly those that work with codes of practice, and they are the kind of ABPI code, the Irish codes, any of those kind of codes, is our target audience, because these are the people who are either writing the policies and the standards, or training them out, or auditing, each other. And they are the people who sometimes, unfortunately, are on the receiving end of a complaint and have to respond very quickly. And so the code isn't really kind of based, here we go, here's a copy of it. This isn't based at one person in an industry. It's actually for everybody in an industry. And we find that some amazing commercial people will come along and be really bright, because they want to do something in a new way and an innovative way. They don't want to wait for their medical signatories and their compliance experts to tell them how to do an activity. That's not their role. It's for the creatives to think of something creative, and they should be also coming to our conference. So we have purposely kind of left it quite broad this year, and we've really encouraging cross-functional teams to think about coming.
That's really good to hear, because when you first hear the topic of the conference, you're thinking, oh, okay, this is playing in the compliance space. It will appeal to the certain that function within a company. But everybody from marketing and medical affairs are trying to develop new initiatives, particularly now with all of the technology and platforms available to them, to provide greater value to their customers and engage at a more meaningful level. And of course, that's where the code there needs to be a layer over that to ensure it's all done in a compliant fashion. So now more than ever, all teams should be involved in the discussion anyway, to find the solution that's going to suit them best. So sounds like a great idea. Okay, so sounds wonderful. How do you pack it all into a day? There must be some pretty meaty sessions going on. Really interested if there's an agenda highlight or two that the audience may wish to learn about.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, as I said, that this year we've packaged it into workshops, because what we want people to do is to kind of practice what each of these themes mean for them and take that away. So the themes are kind of centered around, or the workshops are around, patient engagement, AI, omni-channel, partnerships with the NHS. And we've got experts who are coming. They're not experts in compliance, and that's exactly what we want. We want experts in AI and in omni-channel coming along to talk to the audience about what this actually really means. And it's for the audience, it's a great opportunity to ask those questions that are relevant in compliance, that everyone's chatting about, but no one's really got and come together for a proper solution. So we know with AI, the big concern is hallucinations. Right, so let's come together, let's share best practice and say, what is our position and how are we going to deal with this? It is not enough for the industry to go, we'll never use AI because of the possible risk of hallucinations. That's not good enough.
I think it sounds wonderful. You're talking about some real world examples that will resonate immediately with all those who attend, and giving them something that they'll be then able to take away and hopefully start a discussion within their organisation to address these sorts of challenges. So my opinion is it sounds like a wonderful event. I really love the fact that it's got a nice laser focus on the real world issues of compliance and how it relates to the new world in which we're operating in. So I think it's going to be an absolute winner. If people want to learn more about it or register, is there a website or something they can go to?
Absolutely. Just go to codeclarity.co.uk and all the information's on the website.
Sounds wonderful. Well, we'll leave it there and wrap it up. It was a pleasure having you on, Rina. We're going to call you the Queen of the Code. It was fantastic getting to know you a little bit better. I really look forward to your conference, and can suggest to anybody interested to go to that website. If you're in the UK, have any sort of interest in the compliance elements, how it relates to your day-to-day, check it out. Thanks very much, Rina. Look forward.
Thank you so much, Steve. Pleasure.
Bye for now.